to all your immigration questions.
All right, Mashi, New York City, New York. Mashi, how are you?
Hi, good evening,
Good evening.
Brad.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
I'm calling because I've been married to a United States citizen for 2 years.
Right.
And however, I'm not living in the United States at this time. I do go back and forth.
Go back and forth between where?
Between the U.S. and Jamaica.
Okay.
And my husband now wants to do my adjustment of status.
Okay.
The thing is, he lives in public housing. Would it be able to work if we have a good co-sponsor?
Public housing is a negative these days. So the longer he's in public housing, the more negative it is. It's considered a government assistance. So he's going to have to make a lot of money. You're going to have a really good job. You're going to have to show that you can support yourself independently, meaning that you have good skills, you have good education, you may have medical insurance, but public housing is a big negative. That doesn't mean you can't get it. Just means like you're behind the 8 ball already.
Right. I do have skills. I'm educated and I do speak good English. But my thing is the initial paperwork that we're going to submit. Like, my co-sponsor has his own business and make a lot of money. But the initial submission of the papers, like, would my skills override his public assistance?
I don't know. I mean, are you a professor of rocketry? I don't know what your skills are.
No, I'm a nurse.
You're a registered nurse?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what I would do, if I were you, is I would take the NCLEX. Did you take the NCLEX already?
No.
Okay. Take the NCLEX, and pass the NCLEX, and then that way you can show that you can be employed immediately as a registered nurse in the United States of America. And I think that would do it.
Okay.
Because a registered nurse is going to make over $80,000 a year, most likely have medical insurance.
Okay. All right. And where does these information, like, do they look at it in the initial stages, like when you just submit the paperwork, or do they look at it when you actually do the interview?
I think both. I mean, this is all brand new, so we'll see what happens. We just started filing all these applications in the last couple of weeks, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, and my final question, my husband does get a pension. Would they count that towards his asset?
Yes. No, they'll count it towards his income.
His income?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you get a pension, you get a monthly payment or whatever it is.
Oh, well, in that case, would we need a co-sponsor then?
I would do it anyway because you're in public housing.
Oh, you wouldn't? Okay. So just use the co-sponsor then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. Let's go to Dawn in New Orleans, Louisiana. Dawn.
Hello. Good afternoon, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I must first congratulate you on your good job. Keep it up.
And thank you very much. Thank you. What's going on?
I have this problem. I married to a U.S. citizen. I went to the interview. They said they see where the marriage is okay, but I have a problem. I didn't marry before, and my husband divorced me, and I did not know. So when I was coming to the United States and I went for the visa, I put married, not knowing that he will already divorced me. So they said they are reviewing the case. How long you think they would take to review that case?
At least 4 or 6 months. It sounds like you made a misrepresentation. No one's going to believe you didn't know you were divorced. I'm just being frank with you, and they're going to make you do a waiver. I think at this point you're probably going to need a consultation.
Okay, so I would have to do the waiver before?
No, wait for them to tell you. Hold on 1 second, though, okay?
Okay, then.
All right. Let's go to Seda in Queens. Seda.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much for your help.
My pleasure.
I do have a question about my son. He petitioned me, and we submitted everything on June 28th. I-130 is still pending, but we got an RFE, and we sent the papers back, but we missed the most tax return. And then we got like a denial of just like one thing. It says on the denial that we missed like the most recent tax return. Now my question, I know that you always advise people to refile, but since nowadays that public charge, and I went over the self-sufficiency form, and it's really scary. Should I get it I take a chance and reopen and do the motion to reopen instead?
Did you submit the tax return?
Not yet. I was denied on February 28th, and I know I have 30 days to
Yeah, I
respond.
mean, if you believe that you're going to have a problem with the new application, yes, make a motion to reopen. That may be a smart thing to do. I can't tell you for certain because I don't have your financial documentation in front of me. I'm just going based on what you're telling me. Now, the thing with doing a motion to reopen, it takes 6-9 months. There's no guarantee they reopen it, and you may be put in removal while your case is pending a motion to reopen. And then you're gonna have to file a new adjustment anyway. But I mean, yeah, if you think that's you're gonna have a problem with the new adjustment, then yeah, that's reasonable to do a motion to reopen. I hope it works out. I don't know for sure.
Okay, and I've heard, but I'm not sure. You just said even if I do a motion to reopen and I submit the form, once they receive it, does that mean that my status is pending again,
No.
or they can still send the NTA?
They can still send an NTA. You don't have any status until they reopen it.
And can I do both at the same time, do the motion to reopen?
No, you can't do both. It's one or the other. So that's why generally I say just refile again. That's my general gut feeling, and you can go to other lawyers, and other lawyers will disagree with me. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. This is my opinion. My opinion, which I always generally think is right, but people can disagree with me. It's fine. Is refile again. But if you sit here and tell me you're going to have a problem refiling again because the affidavit of support, you're never going to pass the new requirements, then yeah, do the motion to reopen for sure. I'm just concerned that maybe they won't reopen it. 2, you already screwed up, so you couldn't even get the application done right. Motion to reopen is even more complicated. I have no confidence that you'll be able to do that right. And my concern is that you're going to be put in removal. So, with all that being said, I would tell you, you're in Queens, have a consultation with me, simply because I don't know what the financial, maybe I'll look at the financial documentation, I'll say, Seda, you're crazy, you can refile again, it's perfectly fine. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's just my concern is with that all the form that has the credit score, and then if you have credit cards, how much debt do you have, and if you're going to be able to support yourself. And I got a co-sponsor because my son is not making enough money.
I understand, but I answered your question. I don't know until I speak with you and see your financial documentation. I'm not privy to it. Again, if in a perfect world, you refile again. All right, but maybe this is not a perfect world. Maybe you won't be able. Maybe you have a lot of credit card debt. Maybe your spouse is in public housing. Maybe I don't know. You'll never complete that application properly. So then do the motion to reopen. I'm just there's a risk based on what you're telling me. There's a risk in everything you do. There's a risk in doing the motion to reopen because maybe it doesn't get approved and maybe you get put in removal. And there's a risk refiling your paperwork because you won't have the financial wherewithal to get through the new paperwork. So so if given the both, do the motion to reopen. You could always withdraw the motion to reopen and refile a new adjustment application.
But if I'm in the middle of the motion to reopen and they send me the NTA, I'm done. I have to go to court, right?
Correct.
So I'm not going to be dealing with immigration. I'm going to be dealing with the judge. I cannot back up.
Correct. There's no such thing as I don't want to be in deportation. I don't want to. There's no such thing as, hey, you know what? I got put in deportation. I don't like it. I won't go. There's no such thing. You got to go.
Yeah. And even my I-130 is pending. They might put me in deportation.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you so much for your help, and I really appreciate it.
You know what the answer is?
What?
Come see me. Hold on.
I will.
Stop
I'm
fretting.
coming on. I do have an appointment with you on Saturday at 2
okay
o'clock.
Then. Okay then. All right. So then no need to fret. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Bianca in Nassau, Bahamas. Bianca.
Hi,
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I have a question. My fiance, he has a permanent resident card, which he had from 2007.
Right.
He was married to a U.S. citizen, which is the reason for him getting the card, who works in the Bahamas. They got divorced in 2011. He never overstayed his time. But he had to do a re-entry because of a car accident where he was unable to travel. He has a new resident card, and when he got the resident card, they told him that he can apply for citizenship within 2.5 years. But he's getting like mixed communication. Some people are telling him that he won't be able to apply until the 5 years. And
well, let me tell you what the rules are, because I'm kind of lost in where he was during this whole time. You know,
he's a Bahamian citizen.
I understand, and he had a green card, and he had a re-entry permit, and he was in the Bahamas for a while, but now he's back.
Yes.
I get the general gist. The numbers go in and out of my head, unfortunately. But let me tell you, I'm going to straighten this out for you, because as long as you're decent in math, if you're decent in math, you don't need my help, because I'm going to give you the 3 mathematical formulas to figure out when you can do citizenship, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
In the last 5 years, so we go back 5 years, we're now March of 2020. Between March of 2015 and March of 2020, was he physically in the United States for more than 30 months, which is he was in the United States for more than 2.5 out of 5 years between March 2015 to March 2020. That's mathematical formula number 1. Mathematical formula number 2. Between March 2015 and March 2020, did he ever take a trip outside of the United States that he was out of the United States of America for more than 6 months?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
When was he out of the United States for more than 6 months?
He came back to the United States in 2018, and he's been there.
So then he has to wait till 2023. So it's
it's
5 years from his return from the trip that was more than 6 months.
Okay.
All right? So we don't even have to get to mathematical formula number 3. Okay. What else?
Okay. One more question. If we apply for the I-130 while he's a green card holder, and I'm waiting on that to be processed, I understand that it takes about 18 months.
2 years.
2 years for the I-30. Once that's processed, I won't be able to travel back and forth, correct?
In theory, you won't, because you've shown an intent to get your green card, but they have a right to let you in on a visitor's visa at the airport anyway. But you would have to show a return plane ticket in a very short period of time staying in the United States, and you would also have to show what your true visiting status is while you're coming, and you would have to show that you're going back to a job. You know, they're going to question you a lot. And there's no guarantee.
Okay, and if I decide to stay after the I-30, while the I-30 is being processed, would I still be able to go ahead and adjust status if I?
No, because you're not adjusting status. If you decide to stay in America.
Yeah, if I decide to stay in America while the I-30.
If you decide to stay in America and stay out of status in America, you would have to wait on him to become a citizen.
I would just have to wait on him to become a citizen.
Correct.
Okay, and there would be no you would not suggest that?
No.
Okay, because there would be a penalty for that.
Yeah, you would have to do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. I'd rather see you take your chances coming to the airport for short trips.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. But they will allow me to come back and forth
I can't
as long as I show.
All I can tell you
guarantee.
is, how could I? I'm not the immigration service. All I can tell you is the law. This is the law. You've shown an intent to get a green card. So now you're coming here on a visitor's visa. In fact, you've even called this show, I hope they're not listening, and said, what if I overstay my time? So even in your head, you're thinking that you're not going to go home. So they know that you may not go home. And if they think you're not going to go home, they're going to bar you from coming to America. You've already shown an intent to live in America permanently. So when you come into the airport, you better come with a lot of evidence to show, hey, I'm not coming to live here. I'm short trip. Here's my return plane ticket. I got my job waiting for me back home. My property, my dog, which you hear in the background, everything's waiting for me back home.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Mr. Singh in Los Angeles, California. Mr. Singh.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, sir. Good. So I have two questions. So the first one is about the selective services. So I'm eligible for the N400, which is according to the three-year rule on the marriage-based green card.
Right.
So I'm eligible next week to file an N400. But I have a question regarding the selective services question in the form. When I I came in 2011, I was 22 years old. And I was not aware that I have to, do the selective services and all that. I have to register for selective services and all that stuff. And I was on the student visa until I got married in 2016. And
there's if you go to the selective service website, you can go and check to see if anybody ever notified you about the selective service. So basically, I would guess is that nobody ever did, and you could print something out. But show I was never notified about it. If they did notify you about it, you had to apply for selective service by your 26th birthday, so then you wouldn't be able to apply for your citizenship till 31. But you said you were 20-something in 2011, so you're over 31. You're over 31. You're over 31 anyway now, so you're fine.
Okay, so this 25th, I'm going to be 31.
Yeah, so 5 years after you had to apply for selective service, you didn't. It's a bad moral character thing not to apply for selective service. So you got to wait. So it's 5 years. You pass that 5 years, you're good.
Okay, you mean 31, right?
What? Yeah, 26 to 31.
31. Yeah. And second question is, sir, my extension is, they give me extension for 18 months, so it's already 1 year, and I'm going to file pretty soon for the N400. So what do you think, my I-751 and the N400 is going to decide on the same time, or how that's going to work?
They're supposed to, but when you file the N400, you usually screw up everything. I would wait on the I-751 first these days.
Okay, then I will wait then.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you, sir. Bye.
Good lawyers can differ. There's lawyers who file N400s all the time. I don't think you should, because they end up not approving either one. Let's go to Mr. Ali in Brooklyn. Mr. Ali.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
Good, fine, thank you.
What's going on?
I call in 2019, last August, I become a citizen.
Okay.
And I upgrade my paper. And they told me I got to hear from them about a month.
You upgraded whose paper?
My wife. I upgrade from resident to citizen.
Where is she?
She's back home in Guyana.
And this was in 2013, you said?
No, 2019. I upgrade on last August gone, 2019.
And you still haven't heard anything?
My lawyer called them, and they said that this month, the 26th or 27th, we're going to receive the biographic. So my reason to call you, I want to know if this time pass and I don't receive it, can I call you or make a consultation with you?
Yeah, because I don't know what you mean by biographic. If the I-130 was already approved, you should get...
No, I'm sorry. The last paper, going for the visa.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're already through the National Visa Center.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Come see me by the end of the month if you don't hear anything.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Right. Let's go to Sharon in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Sharon.
Good evening, Mr. Brad.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
What's going on?
I have a question here for you. I got married in 2015.
Yes.
Went in for interview. I got turned down. But the immigration write me and told me that they're giving me 1 month to put in back the paperwork for proof, which I have a lawyer and I give her the paperwork. But my grandma passed away in 2019.
Who passed away?
My grandma.
Your grandma. So you got what's called a notice of intent to deny, and they gave you 30 days to overcome that.
Yes.
Right.
But the lawyer put it, I give the lawyer the paperwork to put it in back. And I went to the immigration in 2019 to see if I can get a stamp in my book to go back to Jamaica for the funeral. When I went to immigration, they told me that there was no paperwork in, so they threw me out 2 years ago. What can I do to reopen back that case?
Are you with your spouse?
My spouse is not living with me anymore. He walked out on me.
So unless you're going to do an abuse case, or get divorced and fall in love again, those are your choices.
So I have to get an abuse case?
I'm not saying you have to get an abuse case. You don't get an abuse case. It doesn't pop out of this thin air. If you were abused, if you were extreme emotional abuse, physical abuse, you can file an abuse case. If not, you get divorced and you got to fall in love again. There's nothing to reopen.
Okay, then.
All right?
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Jay in Atlanta, Georgia. Jay.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. I want to ask you a question, Brad. Last week I called and talked to you about my dismissed case. You remember that?
No, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I did told you that I have an interview on 12. That is tomorrow. And I got a notification from USCIS last night that they're going to reschedule me a new interview and mail me a notice. So I don't know why they changed. I mean, they cancel tomorrow interview.
Excuse me. Magic 8 Ball. Jay got his interview rescheduled. Why? Nobody knows, not even the Magic 8 Ball.
I don't know.
I don't know. Magic 8 Ball doesn't know either. I don't have the slightest idea why they would reschedule. It could be a million different things. Your fingerprints didn't clear. The officer who was supposed to interview you got scared he was going to get coronavirus and called in sick. They lost your file. I have no idea. They spilled coffee on the desk, and there's no desk for you to sit in. There's 100,000 reasons why they rescheduled you. So you can't run a movie in your head, because this is what happens. People run movies in their head and think the worst. I have no idea. Wait for it to be rescheduled again. If you're entitled to your green card, you'll get it.
Yeah, and they said I should look out in the mail.
So then look out.
At April the 10th.
Okay, so then look out. That's the best we can do at this moment. In other words, if they tell you you have an interview tomorrow, they'll reschedule it. There's not a lot anyone can humanly do about it. And you can't assume in your head, my interview is being rescheduled and now something bad is going to happen to me. There could be 100 million reasons why your interview got rescheduled, and it has nothing to do with your case whatsoever.
Okay, bro.
All right, so hang in there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go to Mr. Jude. Hey, Jude, in Orange County.
Hi, hey, Brad.
How are you? How many times has somebody said to you, hey, Jude?
Always, I get that.
Always, right?
Always.
What's going on?
I'm gonna tell you, it's a great show. I enjoy every minute of. I have a question. I received a RFE from field office. They want my VAWA receipt to convert my I-485. However, original RFE letter that they sent to me, and I lost it and misplaced it. So I have to send them the original back, right? With the evidence.
No, you have a copy of it?
I have a first page of front page of copy of front
as
page.
long as you have something with the barcode on it, that's all that matters.
Yes, I have both barcodes.
Yeah, so then send it back with with the barcode. It'll hit your file.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Tom in Newark, New Jersey. Tom. Tom.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you, Brad, for taking my call.
What's going on?
That's it. I filed a I-360, like in 2016,
Right.
in February. It's been still, pending. I made an inquiry, last month, and they sent me an email, and they sent me a mail, not email, sorry, and saying that my case is, they listed, we received your case, so on date. This is not the evidence is showing that, your case is still pending. When we make a decision, we'll send you an email. So they just replied like that. So what is exactly that mean?
Means they haven't made a decision yet. You made an inquiry. They said they don't make a decision yet. I don't know enough about your case to tell you whether you should be worried or not. Sometimes they don't make a decision because they're lazy and they didn't look at it. Sometimes they didn't make a decision because your fingerprints didn't clear. Sometimes they didn't make a decision because, they want to do an investigation. Sometimes they didn't make a decision because there's a legal question the officer can't handle, and he's got to bring it up to the legal office upstairs or downstairs or wherever the legal office is. So there could be 101 reasons why they haven't made a decision yet. I don't know the answer. I have no idea why they wouldn't. All we know is they haven't. Now, what I generally do at that point is then, I say, okay, have a consultation. We sit down and I go through all your paperwork and I review your case and ask you very pointed and specific questions about reasons why they would be a possibility that they could deny you. And if I can't come up with any reason why they would need to deny you, why they need to look into this case, then I would say most likely just nobody's looking at your file. They're lazy. And then if it's more than 12 months, you file a mandamus and force them to make a decision. What you don't want to do is file a mandamus and on a case that you have a problem with.
Okay. I filed in 2016. It's been more than 3 years. You know what I mean? So.
Right. So I don't know whether you have it's more than 3 years.
Okay.
What I'd like you to do, because I don't like to repeat myself, go back or rewind 3 minutes. I'll tell you exactly what happens again. Okay, so hold on. All right, let's go to Walter in Silver Spring, Maryland. Walter.
Yes, hello.
What's happening?
Hi, thank you so much for this call. You're doing a great job. You're helping a lot of people.
Thank you.
My wife had an asylum interview a few years ago, and they said she failed the interview because of inconsistency. And they gave her a court date. She missed the court date, and they put her on the deportation list. And we've been married for about almost 3 years now, and I'm a U.S. citizen. So I just wanted to know what are the correct steps that we can take?
Why was she put in deportation?
Because they gave her a court date after she, I guess, failed the interview for asylum, and she missed the court date.
Why did she miss it? Did she know about it?
Well, I'm not exactly sure why she missed the court date. I think it was because of maybe the papers issue. She didn't get the paper on time.
All right. So the answer is she's been ordered deported, and you have to make a motion to reopen. And then the $1 million question, it's not going to cost you $1 million, but we always like to say the $1 billion question is, why did she miss it? And it could be one of two reasons. Either she knew about it and decided not to go, or she didn't know about it and therefore couldn't go. So if she didn't know about it and therefore you can't go if you don't know about it, then that's a violation of your rights. And then you have a right to reopen your deportation case. If you knew about it and didn't go, there's actually three possibilities. You knew about it, you didn't go, or you knew about it, you tried to go, but something impossible got in your way and therefore you couldn't go. So if you knew about it and just chose not to go and blow it off, well then, you missed your chance to defend yourself in removal, and then you have to make a joint motion with the trial attorneys to try to reopen your case and show real good humanitarian reasons why, even though you blew off your deportation hearing, why they should reopen it. Or sometimes I tried to go, but there was a lot of traffic. The bus broke down. I got stuck in the elevator for 3 hours. And by the time I showed up to court, the judge says, too late, you got ordered deported. Well, in those particular circumstances, if you can prove that, then they should reopen your case that way as well. So it depends on why she missed her court date. So we would need to have that consultation. So hold on one second. Let's go to Marvin in Brooklyn. Marvin.
Hello.
How are you?
Not too bad, you?
Good. What's going on?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have 2 misdemeanor. I went in for my citizenship. I passed the test and everything. I give him my disposition letter and the probation letter. So after I finished, he said, on the paper he gave you, congratulations, you have passed the test. And the next one said, he cannot make a decision as yet. So he told me a week after I received a letter in the mail saying that he need disposition letter, probation letter that accompany my probation, and court transcript. So I don't understand what that means. The only thing I didn't give him was the court transcript. And he said, the letter said submit on March 27th. Submit the paperwork on March 27th.
You're a smart guy? You like to think you're a smart guy? You like to? I think you're a smart guy, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you give criminal records to an immigration officer without thinking at all about what they can do to me when I give them criminal records? Do you want to know why they're asking you for this?
Yeah.
They're asking you for this. Why do you think they're asking you for this?
Not 100% sure.
Okay. All right. So if you're not 100% sure why they're asking you to provide criminal records, let me ask you another question. You realize 2 misdemeanors could get you deported, right?
Okay.
So if you just hand it over to them, you're just handing them over documentation to get you deported. Why would you do that? You shouldn't even be filing citizenship unless you know you're qualified for it. So I wouldn't be doing anything else other than making a private consultation with somebody. I don't even know if you're qualified for citizenship, and you're handing over documentation. The reason why they're asking for transcripts from a court hearing is they want to know what you pled guilty to, what you were sentenced to, and they can use this certified transcript to deport you out of the country.
Well, the thing is this, The thing is this.
What's the thing?
Yeah, but my thing is this. I finished probation, the probation that they gave me. I never do a jail time.
So what? You don't do jail time means you don't have a conviction? Where did you read? Where did you read anywhere that you don't go to jail? You can stay in America for the rest of your life. That doesn't. There's no such law as that.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Just because you didn't go to jail doesn't mean everything's okay. Right. I don't know where anybody learned that from. Kim in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hi. Good evening, Brad.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's going on?
I have 2 questions. So
Yes.
my dad, he was arrested and charged. I'm not unsure of the year when he was arrested for a knife. So I just recently got my citizenship and I wanted to file for him. So I told him to go and get like his police record.
Right.
And he went and got a police certificate. He lives in Jamaica. And so they gave it to him. And it says this applicant does not appear in the criminal database system.
Okay, good.
So is that a good thing? I mean,
Yeah,
I know that's
it means he's not. It means there's no arrest record.
Okay, so I want to. Well, I live in Florida, and I want to, of course, do the case with you because I know you're the best.
All right, hold on one second. Hold on. We'll do it all over the phone. Hold on. Let's go to Eric in Houston. Eric.
Hey,
what's up?
quick question for you.
Yes.
So back last year around May, my wife is overseas, and Pakistan, I filed I-130.
Right.
Do you know roughly, I'm looking for a timeline.
You're a citizen?
And I'm a U.S. citizen myself.
Where's
yes.
your wife?
Pakistan.
In Pakistan? Oh, it's because it's Pakistan. It could be 2-3 years.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to be filing mandamus after mandamus for Pakistan. It's like a black hole.
What is mandamus, sorry?
Force the government to actually give you a benefit that you're entitled to.
Okay.
They're gonna because it's Pakistan, they're going to delay. Frank.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so my case has recently been transferred also, and I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure why
From
either,
the
but all I can tell you is from Pakistan, it's 2-3 years because they do so many security checks for people from Pakistan. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.